Hey, 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 who wants to know my content creation secrets? Obviously, I'm kind of a content machine. I kind of make a lot of content. And my biggest challenge is making more specific, targeted, problem-solving content. I know that, but I want to show you a little behind the scenes look of how do I do my videos? How do I create my content every day? I've done a lot of sharing of how I actually become omnipresent. I've done that online. If you need that, go ahead and put in the comments below omnipresence video or something, or just direct message me and ask for that, because I've done that before. And I actually just updated it, and I did a training with Heather Ann Havenwood for her private group on how I personally, because a lot of people are solopreneurs and they want to know, how the heck can I do this? How can I 25x my content in under an hour? Well, I walk you through exactly how you can do that. I think in 45 minutes, I did a demo of it. And then with Heather and the interviewing and the questioning and the different platforms and stuff, I think we actually spent about an hour and a half online training her people and showing them exactly how I do what I do with my content to put it in. It's actually more than 25 places, but in at least 25 different places, one piece of content. Now, how do I come up with that content? How do I come up with my ideas, and how have I done it over time? I have a book, I have a notebook that my daughter gave me. It's actually a planner and scheduler where I keep track of what day it is for each of the different segments that I'm doing. My weapon of choice is Facebook Live. Now, not because Facebook Live is the best, but it's the best for me given my vision challenges and ease of operation. I can set up my phone, push the button. I don't have to be able to hardly see the buttons. I know where they are, and that's how I can function, and that's why it works for me. It's also extremely forgiving, and it's very authentic. It's like, what you see is what you get, people. I'm definitely a WYSIWYG, right? So that's another reason I like it. People know who I am if they care to look and find out. It's not hard to find out who I am or what I'm all about and see if you want to work with me or not. I love when people hit me up on social media and say, tell me about yourself. And I'm like, I made 2,000 videos last year. If you want to know anything about me, go watch one or two of my videos, read my profile on whatever social media you're finding me on, and then see if we're a fit or not before you ask me, tell me about yourself. I mean, I hate that. Or what's up? Or how you doing? How's your day going? Don't waste my time. Who has time to answer all those? I don't know about you, but I certainly don't. I don't have the time or the energy or the desire, because it tells me what kind of a business person that is. They're not, and it's not just with business, it's with life as well. It tells me that they're a lazy relationship person, a lazy communicator. If I can't even look at somebody's profile before I contact them and find out if what I'm asking them is even pertinent to them, shame on me, right? Totally shame on me. Now, was I guilty of that in the past? Absolutely. I've done that in the past. Lazy relationship, not any relationship, just, shotgun marketing. I did because I didn't know better. Now, would I do that today? Absolutely not. So I have a notebook where I keep track of what day it is for each of my particular segments. So for example, right now I'm in the middle of I'm not in the middle, I'm at the end of a 365-day Facebook Live challenge with a 2 Comma Club winner named Marion Asano, and he is probably starting another one, which might be a 365-day YouTube challenge, which of course, I'm going to do that if he does it. But either way, we're coming up. Today is actually day 356. I have not made that video yet, but I write down what day it is. It's actually, and this is not the total number, but day 119 of my Supersize Your Business, a new series that I've been doing. I think I started it last year, so not just this year, but for how to grow your business, how to create the business that you want. Gearing it more toward women now. It was just general and it was way too broad, so I'm gearing it toward women, and I think I'm going to narrow that down even more and gear it toward women who are in pain, that need to create their own income, and they want to have their own thing going on so that they have an ability to reclaim their personal power. They can take back their life and deal with whatever pain it is that they're having. And physical pain seems to be the one that I've got the most, well, that's not true. I've got experience with all types of pain, right? But physical pain is the one that literally shut me down the most often, and that I've had to learn how to deal with and overcome. So I might target that down and niche that down even more, because again, I still think it's too broad. So then today is day 425 of this particular segment. Now, have I been building my online business and transitioning from the offline to online world for longer than 425 days? Absolutely. But I didn't start doing Facebook Lives about it every day until 424 days ago. So I do that segment. I also do one called, I'm doing a happiness project this year. The first of the year, I started doing one thing a day that makes me happy from a little journal book called Do One Thing Every Day That Makes You Happy. And I share that as a Facebook Live just on my Pajama Grandma page. It's just my fun. It's actually my way of waking up my voice every morning. So day 81 of that today. Then I'm doing another thing to practice getting on my Facebook profile live when there's other human beings interacting with me. Now I need to change the time up that I'm doing that every day because I do it first thing in the morning, which is usually around, it was a little later today, but it's usually like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, which is way too early for most people. Even on the East Coast, most people aren't on Facebook Live at, 6:30 in the morning, right? East Coast time, 6:30? No, they're not. So I started doing that because I know I need to be able to get better at interacting with people and engagement when I'm talking and when we're having a Facebook Live. I think I'm going to start doing more Q&As. I just thought of that right now. I'm going to do more Q&As because they are, or ask me anything, because they are automatically interactive. I think that might be my next step in terms of just doing this. But I'm on day 25 of just sharing an idiom every morning and talking about it and what does it mean and what could it mean, just as a way of changing the way we view the world and how we think about things, because everything can be seen from multiple perspectives, right? And the more open-minded we are to looking at things from different perspectives, the better insight we have, the better we understand ourselves and other things and other people. And so the more change that we can affect in the world. And then the other thing that I'm doing is today was day 22 of a 30-day customer system challenge. I'm doing just a customer challenge, how to set up the system for your organization to create and get more customers. So those are the 6 pieces of content that I'm doing every morning right now. Now on day 30, actually day 31, when the customer challenge ends, right after that, I'm picking up, and with Heather N. Havenwood, we're doing a 90-day video, a daily live video challenge. Now, we haven't gotten the details figured out for that yet, but that's coming right on the heels of this one. In addition, I need to get my next summit going. I haven't done that. I've got to get that going. I don't know why. I do know why, but it's not an excuse. I do need to get going on it. So I got to get that information out there. Probably this weekend is when I'm going to get that done. I don't get it done. I'm also babysitting my 3-year-old granddaughter. She is here now, in case you can hear a show in the background. She is here watching that. And, some mornings, I had a coaching call already this morning. So some mornings, my schedule gets thrown off track and I just don't get to this stuff. Now, one cool thing that I am doing, and part of what I want to show you about content creation and how I come up with it is, for example, for the last 20 days of the 365-day challenge, and one of the biggest challenges of that challenge has been, how do you come up with content, something to talk about in a very diverse group of people every single day? And there's days, I'll be honest, there's days where I popped in and I just said, hey, hi, I'm not feeling really good. This is what's going on. Just wanted to pop in and say hi to y'all. I mean, there were days like that. How much value does that add? It doesn't really add any value. It just meets the commitment to myself that I was going to do it every day. So I thought, well, these last 20 days, I want to try to really add some value. So I thought, I'm going to brainstorm 20 big things I've learned from doing these 365 days or daily videos. And I then just brainstormed a list and I shared that. Honey, I'll be there in a minute. 3-year-old. So, okay, sorry. I'm talking too loud. So I should have shut the door. So I just brainstormed out what are 20 things that come to the top of my mind that I've learned the most by doing these Facebook Lives every day. And I'm sharing one of those every day. The other thing I do, and again, this is my method. I don't know what works for you. If you're an expert in your field and you know a lot, this is easy to do for you. But for some people, this would be impossible. I learned at Funnel Hacking Live last year what I call the Peng Joon method, but I'm sure other people have done it before. Do 120 videos on your subject in like 3 days and then just get them out there. Mass produce and get them out there. And do kind of broader problem solving general topics. So I did that. And how I did it is I just created note cards. And on each note card, I just wrote a topic. And then I would turn on the camera and start talking about that topic. So old-fashioned, old school, 3x5 card way of coming up with topics. All of these are really brainstorming techniques. So then for my challenges, because I love to do challenges, when I say I'm going to do a challenge, how many ever days it is, say it's a 5-day or a 14-day or a 21-day or a 30-day, I just get a piece of paper, I number it 1 through 30 or 31 because I always have a bonus day. And then I write out what are my topics going to be. And after that, then I just take a sheet of paper, and for each day, I number that sheet of paper. And before I do the lesson in the morning, I map out, okay, what's the topic? What are the key points I want to talk about? And then I just turn on the camera like I'm doing right now, and I just start talking and sharing the information. Do I forget to share things? Absolutely. Do I wish I could do it over? Yeah, but do I want to get it done? Is it more important that I get 90% of it out there, or is it more, and I get it out there and people can learn from it? Or is it that I do 50 takes and I get 100% of what I wanted to say out there? Because you know what? Even if I think I get 100% of what I wanted to say out there, as soon as I'm done making the video, I'm going to remember one more thing that I wish I would have said, or one more example, or one more story, or one more thing that I could have done to make it clearer for people. So my brain says, get it out, get it done. You can always go back and improve it or change it. When you get feedback from people saying, you know, I really didn't understand lesson 22 about being an influencer. Can you tell me exactly step by step how I go about doing that? What's the best way for me to do it? You know what? There's a process, but you always have to make that process your own. Are you starting to see a pattern here? There's a process and a system for everything. But then you still have to add you to that system, to that process. Another thing I do, just for my personal sanity, I have rituals and habits and things that I do. I'm big on affirmations. And I finally, thanks to my son, recorded my affirmations, not affirmations, afformations. And if you want to know what those are, send me a message below and I'll talk about that. I recorded them on my cell phone so I can listen to them every morning while I'm getting ready. I used to read them, but my eyes are bad. And so trying to read anything with the magnifying glass, it doesn't work for me. I have them memorized, but I wanted to hear them in my own voice. And so I just started doing that this week. I want to see what kind of an impact that has on me. I do things like that. I also do things like read these card decks. Having a hard time getting organized, I'll admit it. And figuring everything out as I'm doing the move, watching my granddaughter, and still trying to incorporate all my business stuff into that. How do I do that and continue to grow and be happy with the results I'm getting? Well, I use little tools like these card decks, and I pull a card every day, and it's just got a positive message on it that I carry and have with me throughout the day. So in case some 3-year-old's having a meltdown, or I'm having a hard time, or somebody calls and they're struggling, I have a little positive message that, or something happens in our world, because it always does. I have a little positive message that I can say, okay, I remember that I now hold the key to creating my every desire. That's today's message. And so I actually use little cards and cheat things like this to remind me. Other ways to create content, to really come up with content, I teach what I'm currently learning. If I'm reading a book or something, you'll see in my past content, a lot of times I share my biggest lessons learned with that book or that content on my publishing. In my publishing, I share that with other people, because if I learned and got something out of it, I know that somebody else will get something out of it and will learn something out of that too. So that's just a quick and dirty look behind the scenes of how I personally create content and do things in my business that make it easy and kind of effortless and stress-free. And I'm going to admit, and I don't know if other people admit this, but I love creating content. It's fun and it's easy for me. And part of why it's fun and easy for me is I'm old and I've learned a lot and known a lot and studied a lot over the years, but also because I love sharing things that I've learned and how I've grown with other people. And I just know it's not that hard. There's so much information, and anything we want to learn or grow or study on, we can study and figure that out and then share that with other people. And part of it is just deciding, hey, content is easy for me. The better you know the people that you're trying to serve, the easier it is to serve them up content that is good for them and that they like and love, and the easier it is to build your audience and your following. And that's kind of why we all do any of this content stuff, is to get our people to know, like, and trust us so that they become a part of our family, our business family, our life, whatever it is that we're on social media or we're building an online business for. So that's it. I share that for a reason today. I want people to know how I do content, and I would love feedback on that. If you're like, oh my gosh, Sharon, that's such a hard way to do this, please message me or share in the comments below. Yeah, that's a pretty crazy way of doing it. Maybe if you just did this, it would be so much easier. I already know I need to plan out and structure things better. I've got my brainstormed list of the top 10 problems or the top 10 questions my niche audience wants answers to. But to me, that gets old, sharing those same answers to those questions every single time. So I like to mix it up with other things. That's it. Go out, make it an awesome day. I'm going to go attend to a 3-year-old, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.